Maybe y'all can catch up. Maybe you can't. I don't know.
We're back at it.
Back at it. But we don't have DJ in a visible frame. So I'm wondering about utilizing some of this space over here.
Yeah.
Yeah? I can pull up a chair. Well, we still need frame, though.
They can sit right in the middle.
Ah, you want to get cozy? Come on, we've all crewed together. Let's see here. Yep, absolutely not there whatsoever. So no, just hold it and I'll fit you in.
There you go. There you go. You're casting couch.
Yeah, you're gonna want something to hold your beer, dude.
I'm okay.
Yep, no, he's in there.
Put the arm over me.
That's
Here,
cool.
Fit you.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Funny sound thing.
No, they'll be able to hear you.
Yeah, they ought. I mean, you're between the two microphones. They ought to pick you up pretty good.
So y'all were talking about something about hashtags, right?
We were
talking about current
and by
events.
the way, this is subscriber number 40. Yeah,
this is DJ.
That's how you do it. Thank you very much.
DJ's local beer becoming bourbon aficionado and
Wish that was what it was. I just like it.
Mm-hmm. What about hashtags? What current events?
Very hashtag aficionado.
Yeah.
Aficionado.
So no, the way I understand it. So I watch. Obviously, TikTok's popular right now, but I watch all YouTube in my day too. Obviously, Facebook, all that stuff. But one thing I always noticed is the hashtags a lot of time guide your viewership, right? So if you see a current event, you know, whether it be something the president did or a major world event, people hashtag it, right? And on these large platforms, it seems once they do that, no matter what the content of the video, people are going to view it. 1 second,
yeah,
right? One view.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of puts the importance on, not on the video, but obviously on the current events. But if you're trying to get yourself out there, I feel like it's something you probably need to take advantage of, right?
Absolutely. Again, I take the traffic, pretty much, yeah, always. And you know, they're the ones they're the ones that establish the criteria and the numbers. End of the day, they want watch time and click-through rates, so they can present that to potential advertisers, so they can keep making revenue. It's business. I mean,
ultimately, it's genius.
It works.
I mean, everybody.
Oh boy, does it work!
Here I mentioned it. I mean, you have so many enterprises these days that rely on people's having views. I mean, I know it's a hot topic, but OnlyFans is one of those sites that does that.
Yeah.
They rely on a lot of those things from other sites. You have people who have their own online businesses that start through independent sites. All this stuff, and all they really have to do, they don't even have to sell a product. They just want to get the name out there.
Yeah,
and then
just get viewed.
And then everybody that's watching the videos, maybe they're in a local area of that place, maybe they're close, they have the opportunity, not, I wouldn't say subliminally see it, but they recognize the name and what it is. Like, oh wow, I remember seeing this on this random video I watched last week.
Right.
And boom.
It makes an impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Alf, for instance.
Yeah. Marketing.
Marketing, yeah. Local community. I don't know how specifically places like TikTok, YouTube work, but I would assume region lock, right? So your local community, I think, would be something that people would see pretty frequently.
Yeah, with channel pin. So, you know, ALF is pinned to Dawson County. And so that regulates how and to where YouTube publishes at, because, you know, I make the video, I upload it, and then YouTube is the one that they're the newspaper boy.
Yeah.
So they're the one that's running. They select a route and they put us where they put us and stuff. A lot of different criterias and check boxes to go through for different variances of that and raising your level of exposure through that. But yeah, it's region locked. Now, oddly enough, we get a lot of European males 55 to 65 and Canadians that are clicking on our videos, and you go into our analytics and stuff like that and look, see who, blah, 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 blah. That's our chief analytics is pale males 55 to 65, Canada, Europe. Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, okay. I guess I got the same grass over there. Here? I don't know. I didn't know. I mean, I'm guessing their IRQs are, you know, at those locations. Just because I see stuff doesn't mean I understand it. Yeah, man, it's a squirrel cage of just all the criteria that's involved there. So yeah, bandit the hashtags, absolutely. If you came here looking for smoked sausage and you know, how to caulk the perfect tile line, sorry, but we're glad you're here. And good luck next time. But meanwhile, call out for your perfect lawn. What
do they say? Good press is bad press is still good press.
Yeah. The only thing worse than anybody talking bad about you is not talking about you at all.
Exactly.
So we definitely want to be talking about it. And we've gotten to enjoy quite a leap in a lot of our numbers the past couple of weeks, as opposed to previous. I mean, we've consciously taken this effort since last October, something like that. 10 of last year is when we like, all right, we're going to do this. And then so by steps and levels, we've grown through that time. And in the past couple of weeks, we've really enjoyed some spikes. We're using 4-digit numbers now instead of single or low 3.
What were you talking about earlier about the podcast, adding the podcast to the YouTube scenario, how that affects YouTube and where it goes within the
apparently there's
YouTuberverse, for lack of a better term.
YouTuberverse. No, that's good. Yeah, hashtag that YouTuberverse. Apparently there's 3 channel is not the right word. You're right. Yeah, no, put a C on that sucker now. But as opposed shorts, go to shorts.
Right.
Long-term videos, go to videos. That's where to go. That and that. They have the tabs on your channel page. Podcasts, the recent advent, because you have to stay updated with YouTube, just constantly changing. But podcasts will go to YouTube Music, they will go to YouTube Podcasts, and they'll go to YouTube Videos. Those are 3 distinctive categories in YouTube's broadcasting. Again, I don't think channel is the correct word. I think they use a different word. But the venues, let's call it venues or platforms at the moment. So we're effectively doing a triple shot right now, as far as you know, casting our net. We're not just doing one single pool of exposure here. We're doing 3 different areas of exposure with just this advent. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, we're talking about TikTok, so let's point out the TikTok's little white elephant. They're fixing to get pretty much canceled across America. They're already illegal in Utah and Wyoming or something, and then Congress has like another some odd number of days to get them off of all federal devices whatsoever.
Well, and actually, that kind of testament what I was saying earlier about the hashtags. A lot of that has to do with these questionable videos that people are using these hashtags for, that children can see. It's that was for children. For shorts.
That and the China connection.
It's been well, it's a whole other issue. But like I said, with that being said, though, I mean, places like Utah who are religious based, it doesn't surprise me.
So there's no effective way to filter without somebody, you know, subverting it. So it's like, all right, fine, we'll just go with the no option.
Where are those subscribers going to go from TikTok?
YouTube.
Think so?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's all that's available for the scope and certainly the revenue. Because let's face it, it's all about money.
To Facebook Watch.
There's a lot of that.
Is a sort of a TikTok
in the Reels
area. Facebook Reels. Because a lot of people. I mean, TikTok was derivative of Vine, if you guys remember that. And the short videos, that was what it was. So people are going to be looking for a short-term program like that for shorts anyway, right? So, I mean, if YouTube does it, so be it. But I would feel
in YouTube, just from my naivety in the market, you know, like, well, I'll back up. Facebook's more of an older generation type of platform, right? And YouTube is a little bit for the younger generation, maybe 40 and under, and then Facebook's 40 and over, right?
Measured,
give or take.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say Facebook and YouTube are kind of.
They're like neck and neck ish.
Neck and neck, like, because you like I said,
like an older and younger sibling.
Younger right now, but I think they were kind of YouTube, and because you think back all the way to when the iPhone was created. The first big app on there was YouTube. It was exclusive. They removed that exclusivity a couple of years after. And at the time, I believe MySpace was actually big. 2006.
Oh yeah.
So I
Me
mean,
and Tom were BFFs.
So I mean,
that's where my sister met her husband. Trapped or catfish. I mean, yeah, MySpace. Yeah, there you go. That one.
I remember leaving MySpace to go to Facebook, and I think it was probably 06, 07.
Yeah.
So I'd say they're synchronized essentially. But I think YouTube has a larger platform to be able to take over this, right? Obviously, you have some app issues in terms of what TikTok can do, where you want the quick videos. Yeah. But I think it's definitely a good place to move to.
Yeah, and they're preparing it. They're jockeying and positioning, and again, just constantly updating their peripherals, technology that's becoming incumbent with I just now 3 or 4 days ago downloaded the YouTube app on my phone, and I'm grudging, like, with every new thing I have to learn, man. It's like I'm so sick of learning. However, it's that or die, so I choose the better option. But within the YouTube app, there are things that I can do that I can't do in YouTube on my PC, which is where this old guy does most of his stuff, or what I can do on YouTube phone, which allows me to do things. Now that, well, has been, but now for me, there's YouTube app, which has, again, a whole nother realm or categorical platform of things that are able to be done inside there. And they are, there are channels that I listen to, particularly since we've been doing this with Alf and the videos, to learn how to do it, at least hopefully ideal. But YouTube content providers, and they're giving their advice and their information. And some that are like directly associated with YouTube, as well as YouTube's own internal performers and policymakers, etc., and stuff like that. And yeah, they are absolutely looking to take over the overwhelming whatever millions and millions TikTokers that are about to be unhomed from that platform, to make it an easy transition for them to just come right into there. So they're preparing already existing YouTubers, hey, this is fixing to happen. Your marketplace, your neighborhood is fixing to blow. So, pick up these traits and these tricks and these tips and perform this way. Meanwhile, we're doing this and this and that to accommodate such and such and such. But yeah, YouTube's absolutely positioning themselves to be what absorbs TikTok. Yeah, take that. Yeah, that's contemporary knowledge, man.
Look forward to
Didn't
YouTube.
get that from Google this morning.
No.
Or Yahoo Mail.
Or no, I didn't get through Yahoo Mail either.
Yeah. Bing is out there too.
Who?
Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
Oh, God, yeah, man. I loved when it first started.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves is out there.
I loved Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Now, see, being an even older guy, I loved that it was actually the artist illustration of Bascom, who was Richie Rich's butler. That was Jeeves, the little British butler image. Yeah. Well, I've been, YouTube thinks they know me, so they've been bringing up old comic book things. So Golden Key Comics, whatever happened to Harvey Comics, whatever happened to blah, 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 blah. Richie Rich is Harvey Comics. And I often refer to a particular Richie Rich story where his dad, this is like in the 70s, his dad is telling Richie Rich about this new thing called credit cards. And Richie's just trying to understand. I'm talking about money. You're talking about this plastic card, no fathom, whatever. And he's like, son, I'm telling you, this is going to take over the world. And that was in a comic book for little children back in the 1970s.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I feel like it's equivalent to Bitcoin now. I still have no idea what it is.
Well, it's stupid. It's stupid how there's premonitions from our comic books and our cartoons, like Trump coming down the golden elevator, right, in The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago, announcing his presidency.
Yeah, I mean,
that kind of
the Simpsons have become downright biblical. They are the source of prophecy anymore for the modern day.
I saw them on Disney Plus the other day. Interesting enough.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can find anything on Disney now.
Yeah, that's not untrue.
Porn, tran, blah, da, whatever.
Yeah.
LSPD,
Sports Illustrated.
Whatever.
Yeah, National Geographic's on there too.
Freaking Snoop Dogg's old girl, Martha White.
What's her name?
Isn't it Martha White? No, Martha Stewart?
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart.
Sports Illustrated. 80 years
she's on
old.
the swimsuit edition recently.
Martha Stewart is?
Bam, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No
I
lie.
mean, I don't know.
I just like.
I mean, I know she's a hot older woman, man.
Yeah, and she's a convict.
Yeah,
I
mean, oh yeah.
I wonder if she got a jailhouse tag.
Exactly.
They didn't show
I bet
that.
you she did.
They didn't show that.
In a tramp stamp, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, Martha Stewart, cover of Sports Illustrated, swimsuit issue.
Oh no, only Snoop would know.
She was running that prison.
Yeah. There's speaking of Snoop, there's a him and Matthew McConaughey made
the movie,
the movie
Beach Bum.
And he's on Jimmy Kimmel. Both of them are on Jimmy Kimmel, telling a story about one of
they had dope, and he used the real pot.
Yeah, there's like an 8-minute take of them, and that they were doing, and Snoop switched up the prop pot on him.
Yeah,
and they're sitting there doing that 8-minute take. McConaughey and Snoop looks at him and is like, "That ain't prop pot, Matt. That's Snoop pot."
Yeah, that's Snoop pot. Yeah, he bombed him.
Snoop weed.
This may be a little off topic with Matthew McConaughey, but have you any of y'all read his book?
I have not read the book, but so much scintilla about it. I know what you're talking about.
Green Line.
Right? Yeah. Sarah, big. Whenever that first came out,
I haven't really read a long time, but it was probably one of the best I've read.
It shows.
It's crazy. Yeah, I know. Not as articulate as I used to be, but no, I read it, and honestly, it's a crazy book.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised by the thing with Snoop, because in the book he talks about that.
Yeah.
He talks about a lot of stuff where he basically he goes in on these escapades where he takes
on walkabouts
that I'm not going to mention on here. That he enlightened himself, but
kind of like Joe Rogan on that page.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth a read if you guys ever get to. But he's actually a really interesting guy.
I love Matthew. Texas boy, some acting background. He was successful. I just pull it out to try to play that card. But so yeah, I've followed along with him. Alan Tudyk, also a Texas actor. I don't know if you know who he is, but long term, about 30 years, and they've worked together on a couple of projects, features and the like. Along with Woody Harrelson, so they're all like three nuts of a collection there, and
did they make a crazy movie that got them all started? Called Confused.
Yeah, well, not all together, no, but he was.
Yeah, Woody and Matthew McConaughey are both in that movie.
Was Woody in Dazed and Confused?
I remember Ben Affleck was in it.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, and there was like 2 or 3 other stars that haven't made it this far. Matthew McConaughey was it. All right. Yeah.
Actually, they
keep older, and they keep getting older, and they stay the same.
Yeah. But Woody and Matthew and Todd Stashwick, another kind of the same actor. He's on a fringe there, but down home, accessible kind of regular guy. Yeah, he will.
I'll try to use your phone.
Dig in there, man. See what you get. Just
well, I don't want to do
avoid
that.
The ninja pictures.
I'm not going to go too deep.
Yeah. But they'd made a movie, and it was kind of beach bumish. With again McConaughey and Harrelson.
Yep. Mila Jovovich was in. Yeah, however you say it. Adam Goldberg, he's a recognizable face. Yeah. Sasha Jensen, he's a recognizable face. Michelle Rourke.
The guy that's on the new
Burke.
The guy that's on that Yellowstone show. What's his name? He's on Yellowstone. He's the guy. He's the right-hand man.
He plays Rip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cole Hauser. Yeah, he's on it. Yeah.
Great actor. Now he got his like big fame from the Vin Diesel movie, Near Dark.
Yeah.
Or no, is that?
It may be Triple X.
No, it was the alien. Is it Near Dark or is that the vampire movie? I think
there's Chronicles of Riddick.
And it's the Riddick. It's the very first movie about that character. Was it Near Dark? For some reason, I think that's a vampire title. But that's where Cole Hauser got his first real feature film breakout, and then started getting fed more roles
About
and stuff.
Like
Where they're on a
Riddick?
planet. Riddick is a criminal.
Yeah.
Cole Hauser's a drug addict, bounty hunter. For what small backstory he had in that show or movie. I think it's Near Dark. I can't.
No,
Or After Dark, or
the bounty hunter in Riddick was Rowdy in Days of Thunder.
That's a bring back.
Yeah.
Near Dark. Yeah, no, that's the vampires. That's all the aliens and Terminator
Riddick,
alumni.
I think the original was Chronicles of Riddick.
First Riddick movie,
Isn't it a trilogy?
Pitch Black. Pitch Black was the title of that one, and then from there, the Riddick. But Cole Hauser was the bounty hunter, hunting for him in that movie,
I just
and
remember,
from there,
obviously,
his feature prominence.
it's hard for me to remember Vin Diesel past this last 17 Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Well, why are you cutting out the whole body of work? Ain't there like 36 of the damn things?
He was good at the pacifier. I remember that movie.
And what's her name? That was the mom or something?
Everybody's
like
had
that?
to do those, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. Every major action star has to do
Yeah,
You
something.
gotta
I mean,
do some pablum.
Sad movie.
The Rock has done one too, I think.
The one with the little girl in the football movie.
Yeah,
Those,
that's it.
Now, he's done that one, and he does a lot of that stuff now, like the Jungle Cruise and the
Yeah, he's got to do.
movies.
Yeah, and he's got to do. Yeah, all the
old
movies
title
with Kevin
remakes
Hart.
and-
Oh, yeah, all those. Might as well be children's movies.
Yeah. So,
Well, they're put out by Disney, but
well, while we got DJ here, let's talk about cornhole.
yeah. Hey.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a.
See, I'm not from
Yeah,
a
we're
state
here-
where that's like
We're here in a brewery,
Public,
right?
but
We're here at
okay.
nofobrewco, and
we are.
And,
And
you know,
we're very grateful and
a
appreciative.
couple years ago. Well, I'm working on 3 years now, I guess. You know,
Has it been 3 years?
Yeah,
since
working
they
on it.
opened the doors
Oh,
here?
not here, but
No. Since we've been doing cornhole
We've been
and
doing cornhole.
Lanier.
3 years now. I want to
yeah, turn of the year would be 3 years, so we're kind of past that 2-year mark, right? And so, you know, there was a cornhole venture. It was just kind of some good old boys playing, right? You know, we actually out here on the patio, we started playing together
A few times.
with cornhole ATL.
Done those
And-
sports around there a couple
a
of
lot
times.
of our core guys here.
Yep, and you know, along the way, there was an opportunity because with some higher caliber players around the area. So, believe it or not, there's some pro type players around this area, and the sport is growing kind of fast.
I was stunned to
for a-
discover its status when I first came in. It was like, whoa. It's like a hidden society.
It is, yeah,
I'm-
almost like the Illuminati. Yeah.
It's yeah.
yeah, almost,
yeah.
almost, yeah, kind of like
The
that.
Illuminati of beanbags.
Yeah.
You guys are
And
there.
So there was an opportunity to bring in some higher talented players, and kind of started over at Ace Hardware off of 306, and with a couple boards, and then we moved over off of Pilgrim Mill, and had a few more boards or a couple more boards, and then we moved up to the dojo here in Dawsonville, and now we got steady 5 boards a couple nights a week. But you know, it's just a wild phenomenon, if that's a proper term, about how the sport has grown around the area and how many more caliber players there are in the area now. And it's
Better than
gaining
D?
interest, right, DJ?
Yeah, I mean, we're up here in North Georgia. We actually over 1,200 people registered ACL. We're actually now an American Cornhole League affiliate.
That's crazy, man.
And we, we see
that being linear.
Yes, sorry. Linear Cornhole is our official name, but we are now an ACL affiliate. I serve as a local director here, but as the game has progressed, we get, and we've joined them. We have access to a lot more players. Just in the state alone, we have over 3,000 registered players. Which, I mean, across the board, that doesn't seem like very much, but if you go to these events, they're large, they're well ran, there's a bunch of people, and ultimately it became so big a couple of years ago when ESPN signed a long-term contract. And once that happened, everybody and their brother who was a softball player or whatever it was over the years.
Anybody with an arm.
Yeah. See, they wanted to switch to something, and they switched to the sport. And we get a lot of guys who were previous softball players like myself, baseball players like him, stuff like that. We can't do these sports anymore. We got a little older.
But
obviously.
you're still underhanded.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the injury threat's obviously really low.
A little lower.
Right? And of course, people like drink beer, right, and have a good time.
Landed in the minnow
and
pond.
Also, what's really cool about it too is it's a non-discriminatory sport, right? Women, men, children. There's no
whole families coming up pitching.
There's no advantage of being stronger, bigger, faster.
Yeah, I mean, you got a limited space to operate in and just be accurate.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Over time, it just becomes that way. I mean, you see 11 and 12-year-olds on ESPN right now, this moment, playing.
That's crazy balls,
playing in nationals against some of the best players in the world. And what's really cool is those pros. You think about when you go play in MLB or the NBA, right? You're only playing against pros. In the cornhole game, they're all integrated into all of us. Our pros play alongside all of us all the time.
Yeah.
And they don't always win, but a lot of times it's cool because you get to see them in action. You get to learn from them. You get to play that game with them to understand how to get to the next level. And it obviously provides anybody with a competitive nature more of a motivation.
Yeah, it's a everywhere player resource too. I mean, you got corporate CEOs, day labor, kitchen workers. I mean, everybody from nowhere and every place walking in on a level plane, and they're the next superstar or just the the regular guy.
$5 billion.
It's crazy.
Or 10,000.
What a melting pot.
Yeah.
I mean, my short time in there with you guys last year to observe, since I wasn't playing, I had a lot of time to observe, and it had its level of astonishment for me. It's like, you're who? Oh, wow. And y'all come from where? And he just beat. And man, I remember 2 weeks ago when he couldn't, and it's just this amalgam of you guys.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then to find out, like in the time since I was there, that you've done this elevation and scale. That's pretty wild. That's pretty cool.
Well, and we hope to grow a lot bigger. And the one big thing about us is we specialize in development. And like you just said, you see guys that are over a couple weeks. We have guys, and that's one of our biggest core things is we want to make sure these guys are ready to play at the next level, and we provide them the resources and the ability to. We sponsor pros that come around and play all the time, and whether that be those guys learn from them or people like myself or Elijah or whoever it may be, it provides a community for these people to feel safe, and they can grow in the sport without having to worry about, when you were a kid, your parents put you in travel ball. You played 150 games a year, it felt like, but you were just constantly having to do that.
Yeah.
We don't really have as much that. We have a home place for people locally. People can travel, but for the most part, the game's lax when you come play, and we don't try to give you the ability that you have to win every time. It's more like a learning opportunity. But obviously, with most sports, when you join, you're going to take your licks, right? You're going to get beat. And that's one thing we try to emphasize with a lot of people is not all of us started the same place. When I first started playing, I was definitely in the same place. Nobody wanted to be my partner, right? But through dedication and playing it myself, I figured out a way, right? So we try to offer the same kind of thing to help people, and we think it's a great community effort and a great play on building a growing sport. So we're in a good place, and hopefully it grows even larger
Well, if somebody's interested in hooking up, it's still LCC, right? Or what? LLC?
So Linear Cornhole Club. You can find us on Facebook. We're limited on a couple other platforms right now. Our website should be rolling out next week, but if anybody wants to get a hold of us, it's best place.
Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
We post our schedules, tournaments. We're also listed on the ACL app, American Cornhole League app.
Still on my phone, I think.
Yep. And then also we are on Scoreholio, which is a third-party system.
That's what's still on my phone. Scoreholio.
We also advertise in there as well in case anybody doesn't have the other app.
Awesome. That's cool. Elijah just related to me, I don't know, maybe about a month and a half ago, X time, whatever, and stuff like that, that all of this had progressed and accumulated up to this point that you're talking about now from my last experience time. And I was like, what? Huh? What? Wow. Oh, really? I mean, you know, it's like, I don't know, something relevant to saying that something has greatly changed since the last time that you saw it. And it's like, all right,
and we
cool.
All of our players, they've been the ones that have been able to allow us this, give us a place to stay and keep playing.
Well, and that's where it's always grassroots. I mean, until you're whatever, Disney or Milton Bradley or, you know, GM, it's always the grassroots. It's the people that start out supporting you and carry through your growing stages and become part of and push you forward. And that's cool because I'd asked him about there's a married couple that I started running into them regularly at Chick-fil-A when I was still delivering for the boogers, you know, DoorDash and COVID and shit. But so I'd end up seeing them at Chick-fil-A all the time.
All right, focus.
I'm focused.
I think we're talking about Scott and Kelly.
If that, yeah, absolutely.
Focus.
Yeah. The redheads, both of them are redheads.
That sounds about, oh, maybe Donnie and,
that sounds more Donnie and somebody. They have some sort of service company. He drives a big old panel van.
I don't think that's Donnie and...
He's got the birthmark and he has a beard.
Oh, that's Scott and Kelly. Yeah.
Oh, it's Scott and Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I mean, I don't care what they call themselves. They're nice folks, and I like them.
Yep.
But
them both.
yeah. We so you know, it crossed over from the cornhole interaction to the Chick-fil-A while I'm driving for boogers interaction, but they're just sweetheart and fun.
Yep.
I really enjoyed them, and then to hear that they're still with you even through these changes.
Scott was there
and stuff like
Monday
that.
night.
I just find that I'm a big alumni fan. Like we were talking about movies earlier, and just whenever you start recognizing connections from different things, different projects, and over time and stuff like that, I appreciate that legacy or heritage value in something that proves itself to be long term, even in growth. And so I'm charmed. I appreciate hearing how y'all have gotten here since the last time I was aware of where you were. That's freaking cool, dude.
Yep. It's definitely a good community.
Attaboy.
It's a community that supports each other. It's kind of like support local community, right?
Yeah.
So anything that happens within the cornhole community, everybody likes to support each other. You know, they've come to our business and asked us to help them, or wanted to pay us, or have used people within the community to do things for me or referred them and so on and so forth. So it's a good networking thing for sure.
And they've used our sponsors too.
Yep. Yeah. Been the sponsors.
So has Bryce, now I think I asked you, but I don't remember what your answer was because, well, you put that in the air. Has he got his bags out, his design
he's
things out? Or are they out?
Pretty well. Noble,
really? Yeah.
Noble Cornhole's sold a lot of bags. Recently talking to them, they're producing a lot more than just bags just for them. They're actually taking over a lot of other companies' bag efforts to try to help them, and he's doing a great job. That's great. Actually, one of our sponsored pros, Tony Hughes, does for them. He's going to be at the Pro National this weekend, but that's his sponsored bag.
Attaboy, Bryce. Well, if you get the opportunity, tell him I said kudos. Glad to hear good stuff about him.
Pretty often, but he's a busy man, so
yeah,
we understand.
Well, when he was saying back then, I'm retired. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Right. Me
Me
too.
too.
Man. Yeah.
Me too.
That
And
is so cool, man.
but we've got challenges, right? You know, we're trying to get to the next level, and it's always a challenge. When we started talking about this thing and putting stuff down on paper, as you do when you're trying to create something, the three biggest challenges: having a lighted environment, a flat environment, and a conditioned environment, right?
Yeah,
being
boy, those cold nights got
HVAC,
cold.
and it's a sport. If you're going to call it that, you know,
Does it have sponsors?
cheerleading's a sport, right? So, and
Yeah.
you got to rely on venues here like Nofo or Fairway Social, like our friends Kristen and Corey Harkins at North Georgia Cornhole Association. They rely on Silverbacks area. Our friends over at Left Nut, or Liquid Nation rather now, Jeff and Dean, they use that brewery. You got to rely on these venues to help you. You know, the next step is trying to create a model that is self-sustaining, whether it be a membership-based type of program or whether it be a sponsorship type of thing. And you know, you've got to almost have a standalone environment to be able to go to the next level, where you can have patrons coming in and out the door every day and getting more involved in the community, where you're establishing clubs at the schools and you're creating a pipeline of people that want to become more active in the sport. And it's going to take investments, and it's going to take maybe somebody along.
Are you finding currently any headway at all in that direction?
So we're
It sounds like you got it targeted a little bit.
So
you got a goal idea.
We have we've met a lot about where we want to go in terms of what we've needed to do that. Right now we're focusing on a couple things. We need our new sponsors are coming out this season. We got new boards. We've invested a lot in live media. We have a live channel right now that we broadcast, and it's incredible.
What is it?
Check it out. It's on Lanier Cornhole Club on our Facebook page. But we live stream all the matches, so you can see some of your favorite people play all the time. It's pretty cool. But getting stuff like that allows us for the ability to start trying to move in that direction. Larger media piece, more visibility, right? Gets us out there, and having those items are things that customers or players want to see. So the more that we focus on the player involvement, the more we're going to succeed in finding that place. We just have to, like I said, find the right moves, find the right outlet, and the right timing, right? So, and right now that's
timing. Yeah.
And right now we're also trying to capture more than just that. You know, the one thing we pride ourselves on is how well our players are doing, but we also are trying to reach a larger crowd, people that don't know about how to get to the next level, or they feel like they're stuck in a place. So, you know, not knock to Nofo, but they host a lot of social leagues, and a lot of those players ask us. They'll say, hey, how do I do this? And we serve as an informational piece to try to do that.
Yeah.
So we want to create a place that involves those people and also the rest of them. So a lot of what we're doing now is trying to get those guys in the door to understand and play and get to where we're at. And once we're at that point, we'll have the ability to do it.
When you say a place, you're not talking about just an organizational grouping of a place, but you're talking about like a physical structure, a location.
Yeah, we'd like to have something like this. It's about about 6,000 square feet
to dedicate to this,
where you can have 10 boards set up at any given time, and people can come in, scan a card like a gymnasium or something like that, to just come in and start throwing.
So what does Bryce think about that?
We have not discussed that. We haven't in a long time. Obviously, we've talked to
I know he's busy, but
we've talked to Bryce about that. Right now, there's not a lot of interest in other parties in trying to do something. We're trying to.
Well, pickles.
Obviously, once that structure, or that, I wouldn't say structure of a building, but once the bones are there,
right,
we'll be able to make a move, and we'll find people who want to get involved in that kind of thing. But as of this moment, we're kind of
just keeping things alive. You know, it's about building the brand, right?
Right.
And then once you got say you got 3,000 people in the state that are registered ACL. You know, once you got 50, 100, couple hundred people wanting to knock down your doors throughout the week.
So
then,
are we
then,
at
you know,
any
you're
level of
talking
looking at some merch?
Oh yeah, we've actually got a lot of merch. We have hats and shirts right now.
Okay, koozies?
Not yet, but
No?
our website, like I said, will be set up next week for our online store.
You did say that. What's the website name going to be?
Nearcornhole.com or cornholeclub.com.
Cornholeclub.com.
Yep.
Nice.
And we'll have an
Nice.
online store on there, and I get a lot of requests through our Facebook page about patches and hats and all that. So we're trying to make it available for people.
Yeah, because God, that is one little social click that is on about the freaking patches, man. Watching the bags come in and out, and it's like, oh my God, this is cool. I mean, we know I'm an outsider to that particular little click there, but fuck, I like a lot of stuff about it. And I'll be honest, the patches, all the innuendo and the parody and the dubbing of other things like that, I click on that kind of thing. That's what I do with a lot of our videos, is I mash it with the movies and stuff, because that's my specific little venue. So yeah, patches, that's awesome. Well, yeah, the merch, get that rolling. You're getting the bones, you're getting the name out there. We need to Ben Soleil, because I mean, who doesn't want to Ben Soleil anyway? But you know, because he wants to do his whole factory of entertainment. You know, he just needs that $2 million loan.
Yep, we've talked about it.
Yeah,
you know,
Nothing's off the table.
Nothing's off the
nothing
table.
off the table.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It's just a matter of capitalization.
Our folks out here.
Yeah, and you got exactly sleigh.
Yeah.
The sleighs are.
Cornhole's getting hashtagged all over this video, and there should be about 9 videos coming out of this with the shorts.
So Soleil, Jason and Sarah Soleil are friends at Extreme Explosives, who sell fireworks, and if you need
Extreme Explosive fireworks, by the way, not the other Extreme Explosive.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't want to do that one.
So if you need some fireworks at during Memorial Day and Independence Day, go get it. But yeah, you know, he wants to do his entertainment facility, and it'd be a good spot to be able to post up. Just getting a space like this where you can open up and you can move the boards around, right? If you need to do something else, you know, that when you need to, when you don't have
like
anything going on.
It's got to be able to facilitate each venue that comes through there. So
absolutely.
You know, and he's talked about that. He wants to do something like that too. So it seems like a natural match to me. But I'm just a whittle guy. What do I know?
But there's plenty of places it's a difficult model, but you know, Rock Hill, South Carolina, they've got a big facility. You know, they do everything from pool to darts to cornhole to
air guitar.
Air guitar shit. I mean, they're on the.
They share a building with ESPN the Ocho. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I am not.
Well, they mentioned it. It was a parody at one point during the movie Dodgeball.
Oh, really?
It became real a couple years ago, and they do have where they host the championship games for you watching the ACL Pro Nationals. They have an arena. They have an arena set up like that permanently for multi-use sports. So it's a gigantic facility. Their facility fits 100+ sets of boards. It's insane.
Wow.
So there's a need for it.
Yeah.
How do you capitalize on it? It's another one. I think you said there was a company in New York.
The gears.
I don't know if they've opened yet, but there's one that I've been following pretty closely up there. I guess I'll try to reach out to him eventually.
Yeah.
But we actually, our model came from, we started because I took in a visit to Emerald City Cornhole out of South Carolina, and I was impressed by that model. And that's what I was like, we need to start something like that here, because in the state of Georgia, we don't have anything like that. Everybody's at a bar, like Elijah was saying.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been a place where people can really call their own or have a place that's solid that you can go every time, right?
Yeah.
Like we are kind of afforded the opportunity now. We have a place we just show up, we set up, we don't have any problems. We leave our stuff there, we don't have to put it in the trailer. But that's not common in most places, right?
Right, no. The few locations that I was familiar with or involved with, I mean, it wasn't sketchy, but I mean, you know, that's not, that wasn't the purpose of that facility.
Yeah.
They were temporary.
Yeah. We were there by grace, or some accepted association for that very moment.
And I would almost say that, you know, we talked about those 3 things that you need: the lighting, the flat ground, the HVAC. I think there's probably a 4A and a 4B as well. 4A being beer, 4B being food. So
one.
If you could have an environment, if you're gonna have an environment in like this with a bar and at least bar food,
see, that falls back into my old
3 main things.
One of my original loves is a family adult beverage providing facility, restaurant and coffee house. I see it in my head. It works. Back in the old days,
it works in your head.
It does.
Okay.
It does. But I also see cross-threading just out in regular marketing. But back in the old days, family dining, Bonanza, not Luby's, but there was like Wyatt's Cafeteria, and not so much a cafeteria setting, but it's like family can come in and fucking sit and eat food, and then dad or mom can walk over to the bar or have drinks served from the bar. And then as coffee houses have moved their way, it's not just you know, a whack nut patchouli juiced up little granola place or a Christian bookstore. I mean, you know, I'm not all about the Starbucks or whatever like that, but coffee houses are everywhere.
Yeah,
everybody's fucking.
You could put a Caribou coffee on the end of this, and
it would fit in there.
Yep.
And integrate, because we're
synergy
talking
and
about
shit.
We're talking about you know, ingesting food service. It would go together. So then we just need another 20,000 feet for cornhole to the facility.
6 would do it.
Yeah. Well, I want you guys to have someplace to put your trailers.
Yeah, I mean, 6 to start with a bar, restaurant, coffee house on the end in the mornings to build a little synergy and keep the parents awake. And
have some breakfast burritos kicking out there while the crews are setting up boards.
That's great.
And the like.
Yeah, maybe our friends at nofobrewco can help us out with,
anybody wants to
with their next location,
some ideas, suggestions, connections, leave comments, get on in here, be a part of this. That's awesome. I really am. I'm kind of warm and not proud. I can't say proud because I didn't really have anything to do with it, but I'm glad to hear about this progress.
It's getting there.
The last time that I'd heard about it.
Slow burn.
I enjoy it.
I think we need another beer, and I need to take a leak.
There's that. I need to check the time on that camera. Deez, man.
Yeah.
Freaking A, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Good to be.
Yeah.
We might have to pull you back in occasionally. 48:05, and that's a wrap on the second set.